Story time about how I slept with my date's best friend while I do my skincare. This is messier than I expected. It's all good. So, boom. I started talking to this guy last year, probably during the summertime, and it was going pretty well. He took me on one date, right? Did I get it all good? Okay. He took me on one date. We got some drinks, food, and hookah. It was cool, fun. Had good conversations. Thought he was a vibe. So we were having really good conversations, and honestly, I kind of liked the kid. He was a producer. I was an artist. We bonded over that. And yeah, so I kind of just felt his vibe. Then after the date, he had asked if I wanted to go to his crib to hear some music and things like that. So I'm like, of course. But in the back of my head, I was just like, oh, ew. But in the back of my head, I was just like, I don't want to go to your crib and you think I'm going to try to sleep with you because I'm not that girl. But it ended up happening. He was telling me, oh, I was the best he ever had in a long time and blah, 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 blah. Basically, this man led me to believe that he wanted a little bit something more, which I was like, okay, but I told you, I'm taking it easy. I'm trying to figure out what I want in a relationship and things like that, whatever. I say that after we hooked up. I said that before. So now weeks go by and I don't hear from him. I'm just like, okay, I hit him up a couple times. He low-key ghosted me. And I was just like, you was talking all this about oh, you so fine. I think you're somebody that I really want to be with. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. And I happen to go on a dating app. I go, ew. I just licked my lips. That was so gross. But I went on a dating app and I happened to see that he was a few blocks away from me. So I texted him and I was like, oh, you can't respond back to my text, but you in my hood. What's good? Let me take this off. He's like, oh, I'm actually by the bar, by your house. You should come pull up. I'm like, okay, whatever. He's like, it's goth night. And I'm just like, goth night? Whatever. So, he was dressed in all black and pull up to this venue. So, I pull up to the venue. I'm dressed in my all black, looking like, I don't know. I was trying to give goth, but I wasn't giving goth. Whatever. Greets me there, whatever. He was like, long time no see, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, because you ghosted me. The fuck. But whatever. I wasn't gonna sit there and wallow about that. But he was just like, oh, so good to see you. He introduces me to his friends. 2 guys, 1 girl. Mind you, they're already drunk. They're drunk. They're on some drugs, which I'm like, cool, whatever your vice is. Just, I'm not on that type of timing. I don't do nothing. I'm squeaky clean. So, anywho's, yeah. I mean, his friends, one of his friends is actually really cute. So the guy and the girl, they were in a relationship. And then this other guy, he was by himself. Whatever. Cool. Cute. Whatever. Now at this point, I got there hella late. So the club was only open, left for an hour. So the club closes. It's a summer night. I'm like, what can we do? I was thinking, he invited me because he wanted me to go back to his crib and, have a good old time. I'm always down for a good old time. Especially if it's somebody that I know, right? So, whatever. Standing outside the club, we walk to his car. I'm like, so, what are we doing? Am I coming to your crib? He's like, oh, no, I'm going home to sleep. And I was just like, that's weird. Why would you invite me out for just an hour if you weren't trying to chill with me? I'm normally busy, so it's you're gonna go home? I literally said that out loud. So you're gonna go home? And his friends were just like, no, don't go home. Let's do something. Let's go to the beach or something. I'm like, yeah, just come out. Let's, turn up. He was like, nah, I'm going home. So I was just like, weird, okay. But then his friends were like, well, you can come with us. Mind you, I don't know these people. They're strangers. But I was just like, sure. And then I looked to the cute boy, which was his, close friend. His best friend, I think, actually. And he was just like, you should come. Like, it's gonna be a vibe. And I'm like, you ain't gotta tell me twice. So I ended up going with these strangers to the beach, right? I go with these strangers to the beach, going to Malibu. We get to Malibu. They're like, oh, like, we're gonna start like a little bonfire and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, cool, great. So now we're all camped out on the beach, starting the bonfire. I'm talking to his friend. I'm feeling a vibe. The couple ends up seeing another person on the beach, and they went and talked to the stranger. I was like, stranger danger, you don't do that. But also, I'm with a whole group of strangers, so. But I kind of trusted them because I knew that was friends of that guy. So I was like, whatever. Me and said boy are sitting on the beach, whatever, talking. And he's like giving me like these dreamy eyes. And I'm just like, oh, you're so fine. You're so fucking fine. But I was just like, whatever, you know, I'm not going to push nothing. I'm hydrating my face now. We end up talking. And then next thing I know, he's just like, I don't even want to lie to you. And I'm like, oh my God, here's where he's like, he's straight or something. But then he was just like, I want to you. I was like, me? Right here, right now? He's like, yeah, I'm like right here, right now. I was like, He's like, yeah, let's do it. So mind you, now it's like 4 a.m. In Malibu. And I'm just like, you don't want to come to my crib? I'm like, I got a crib. He's like, nah, like, let's just go by the palm trees. We ended up doing it. And and it was so crazy to me because then his friend, well, my original date had hit me up like maybe 2 days later, and he was just like, oh, what's good? Like, how was that night? And I was like, it was an amazing night. An amazing night. And then he was just like, oh, okay, cool. Like, you should come hang out with us more often. And I was just like, maybe not, because now it's awkward. Moral of the story, if you're gonna play with my emotions, I'm gonna play with your best friend. And that's my life.